Dear students, now we see Standard A, Unit 5, Electricity. All things we use in our life are made up of elements. Each element is made up of atoms, which is the smallest unit. Atoms are made up of particles like proton, electron and neutron. Movement of electrons in a material constitutes electric current and generates an energy that is called electric energy or electricity. We use this energy in our life for various needs: electric bulb, fans, electric iron box, washing machines and refrigerator. In this lesson, we will study about the electric charges and how they are transferred, electric circuits and the effects of electric current. Now we see about the atom. An atom consists of proton, electron and neutron, which are called subatomic particles. Proton and neutron are found inside the nucleus, which is at the center of an atom. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in different paths, that is called orbits. There is a force of attraction between the protons in the nucleus and the electrons in the orbits. Electrons in the inner orbit are strongly attracted by the protons and they cannot be removed from the atom easily. But the electrons in the outermost orbits are loosely bound and they can be easily removed from the atom. Now we see about the charges. Charge or electric charge is the basic property of matter that cause objects to attract or repel each other. It is carried by the subatomic particles like protons and electrons. Protons carry positive charge and electrons carry negative charge. Electric charge is measured in coulomb. Small amount of charge that can exist freely is called elementary charge. Its value is 1.2602 into 10 power minus 19 Celsius. Protons have positive elementary charge and electrons have negative elementary charge. Now we see about the transfer of charges. In friction, when rubbing two electrically neutral objects together can charge both objects, both again opposite charge. In conduction, when charged object touches another object, electrons jump from one to the other in the attempt to equalize the charge on both objects. In induction, charged object comes near the another object without touching that causes it to polarize. Now we see about the transfer by friction. Now we understand by a small activity, take a comb and place it near some pieces of paper. Are they attracted by the comb? No. Now comb your dry hair and place it near them. What do you see? You can see that the paper pieces are attracted by the comb now. How is it possible? Comb rubbed with the hair gains electrons from the hair and becomes negatively charged. These electrons are accumulated on the surface of the comb. When a piece of paper is teared into bits, positive and negative charges are present at the edges of the bits. Negative charges in the comb attract positive charges in the bits. So the paper bits are moving towards the comb. Similar effect can be seen when we rub few materials with one another. When a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth, the free electrons in the glass rod are transferred to silk cloth. It is because the free electrons in the glass rod are less tightly bound as compared to that of the silk cloth. Since the glass rod loses electrons, there is a deficiency of electrons and hence occurs positive charge. But the silk cloth has excess of neutrons, so it becomes negatively charged. Now we see the transfer by conduction. Charges can be transferred to an object by bringing it in contact with the charged body. Transferring charges from one body to other body is called transfer by conduction. Transfer by induction. What is transfer by induction? The process of charging an uncharged body by bringing a charged body near to it but without touching it is called induction. The uncharged body acquires an opposite charge at the near end and similar charge at the farther end. Now we see about the flow of charge. Suppose you have two metallic spheres, one having more negative charge and the other having the more positive charge. When you connect them both with the help of the metallic wire, excess electrons from the negatively charged sphere will start flowing towards the positively charged sphere. This flow continues till the number of electrons in both the spheres is equal. Here the positively charged sphere is said to be at higher potential, the negatively charged sphere is said to be in lower potential. Hence the electrons flow from lower potential to higher potential. This is known as the electric current. The difference between these potentials is known as the potential difference, that is commonly known as the voltage. Now we see about the electroscope. An electroscope is a scientific instrument used to detect the presence of electric charge on a body. In the year 1600, British physician William Gilbert invented the first electroscope. There are two types of electroscope: pithball electroscope and gold leaf electroscope. If you bring a charged object near the knob, electrons will either move out of it or into it. This will result in charge accumulating on the metal leaves inside the electroscope. If a negatively charged object is brought near the top knob of the electroscope, it causes free electrons in the electroscope to move down into leaves, leaving the top positive. Since both leaves have negative charge, they repel each other and move apart. If a positive object is brought near the top knob of the electroscope, the free electrons in the electroscope start to move up towards the knob. This means the bottom has a positive charge. The leaves will spread apart again. Let us know about the gold leaf electroscope. The gold leaf electroscope was developed in 1787 by British scientist Abraham Bennett. Gold and silver are used in electroscope because they are the burst conductors of the electric current. Now we see about the structure of electroscope. It is made up of a glass jar. A vertical brass rod is inserted into the jar through a cord. Two gold leaves are suspended from the brass rod inside the jar. When the brass disc of the electroscope is touched by a charged object, electric charge gets transferred to the gold leaf through the rod. This results in gold leaves moving away from each other. This happens because both the leaves have similar charge. Charging. Transfer of charge from one object to another is called charging. In case of gold leaves, charge is transferred through the brass rods. Electric charge. What is electric charge? The gold leaves resume their normal position after some time. This happens because they lost their charge. This process is called electrical discharge. Now we see about the lighting. Lighting is produced by discharge of electricity from cloud to cloud or from cloud to ground. During thunderstorm, air is moving upward rapidly. This air, which moves rapidly, carries small ice crystals upward. At the same time, smaller water drops move downward. When they collide, ice crystals become positively charged and move upward, and the water drops become negatively charged and move downward. So the upper part of the cloud is positively charged and the lower part of the cloud is negatively charged. When they come into contact, electrons in the water drops are attracted by the positive charge in the ice crystals. Thus electricity is generated and lighting is seen. Now let us know about the thunder. Huge quantities of electricity are discharged in lightning flashes, and temperatures of over 30,000 degrees Celsius or more can be reached. This extreme heating causes They are to expand explosively fast and then they contract. This expansion and contraction create a shock wave that turns into a booming sound wave known as the thunder. We see about the earthing. What is earthing? A safety measure device to prevent people from getting shocked if the insulation inside the electrical device fail. That is called as the earthing. Now we see about the electric circuits. A simple circuit consists of four elements: a source of electricity, a path, a conductor through which electricity flows, a switch to control the circuit, and an electrical resistor, which is any device that requires electricity to operate. Now we see about the series circuit. A series circuit is one that has more than one resistor but only one path through which the electron can travel. All the components in a series circuit are connected to end. Current through the circuit remains same throughout the circuit, but the voltage get divided across the bulbs in the circuit. Consider three bulbs connected in a series. Let first be the current through the circuit and V1, V2, V3 be the voltage across each bulb. The supply voltage V is total of the individual voltage drop across the resistance. V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now we see about the parallel circuit. In a parallel circuit, there is more than one resistor and they are arranged on many paths. This means charges can travel from one end of the cell through many branches to the other end of the cell. Here the voltage across the resistors remains the same, but the current flowing through the circuit gets divided across each resistor. Here the three bulbs connected in series. Let V be the voltage across the bulb and I1, I2, I3 be the current across each bulb. The current I from the battery is the total of the individual current flowing through the resistance. Here I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now we see about the difference between the series and parallel circuits. In series circuit, same amount of current flows through all the components. But in parallel circuit, the current flowing through each component combines to form the current flow. In series circuit, voltage is different across different components. But in parallel circuit, sum of the through each component will be the voltage drawn from the source. In series circuit, components are arranged in a line, but in the parallel circuit, components are arranged parallel to each other. In a series circuit, if one component breaks down, the whole circuit will burn out. But in the parallel circuit, other components will function even if one component breaks down. We see about the effects of current. Heating effect. Electrical energy is converted into heat energy. For example, heating of electric ion, electric bulb. Mechanical effect. Electrical energy that is converted into mechanical energy. For example, electric motor used in fans, vacuum cleaner. Lighting effect. Electrical energy caused by accumulation of static charges which is then converted to light and sound energy. For example, lighting and thunder. Chemical energy. Electrical energy converted into chemical energy. For example, electroplating used in polishing of artificial jewelry. Magnetic effect. Electrical energy converted into magnetic energy. For example, electromagnet used in the electric bulb. Now we see about the chemical effect of current. We know that the electricity, take two pieces of wire and lead light and a battery and make a simple electric circuit. Take some water in a glass and put the wires in the water as shown in the diagram. Does the lead bulb glow? What do you understand from this? We know that electricity is conducted by metals. This activity shows that liquids also conduct electricity. When electric current is passed through the conducting solution, some chemical reactions takes place in the solution. This chemical reaction produces electrons which conduct electricity. This is called chemical effect of electric current. The decomposition of molecules of a solution into positive and negative ions and causing an electric current through it, that is electrolysis. Electrolysis has the number of applications. It is used in extraction and purification of metals. Now we see about the electroplating. What is electroplating? It is a process of depositing a layer of one metal over the surface of another metal by passing electric current. That is called electroplating. Now we see about the heating effect of current. Now we take a battery, bulb, switch and few connecting wires. Make an electric circuit as shown in the diagram. Keep the switch in the off position. Does the bulb glow? No. Now move the electric switches to on position and let the bulb glow for a minute or so. Does the bulb now? Do you feel the heat? Yes, we can feel the heat. When electric current passes through the conductor, there is a considerable friction between the moving electrons and the molecules of the conductor. During this process, electrical energy is transformed to heat energy. This is known as heating effect of electric current. Copper wires offer very little resistance and does not get heated up quickly. On the other hand, thin wires of tungsten or nichrome, which are used in bulbs, offer high resistance and gets heated up quickly. Heating effect of electric current can be seen in many devices. Some of them are given below. First one is fuse. Fuse is a strip of alloy wire which is made up of lead and tin with a very low melting point. This can be connected to the circuit. The fuse is usually designed to take specific amount of current. When current passing through the wires exceeds the maximum limit, it gets heated up. Due to low melting point, it melts quickly, disconnecting the circuit. This prevents the damage of the appliances. Now we see the electric cookers. Electric cookers turn red hot when electric current is passed through the coil. The heat energy produced is absorbed by the cooking pot through the conduction. Next one is electric kettles. The heating element is placed at the bottom of the kettle which contains water. The heat is then absorbed by the liquid and distributed throughout the liquid by convection. The last one is electric ions. When a current flows through the heating element, the heat energy developed is conducted to the heavy metal base, raising its temperature. This energy is then used to press cloths. Thank you, students.